In a previous video, we did come up with a very basic solar system design where a moon was revolving the Earth. In this video, we're gonna be looking into how we can make that rotation path a perfectly circular path using the constraints. So I'm gonna be for this one for the demonstration purposes. I'm gonna be using again the example of a solar system. Shift A and then UV sphere, and this centerpiece is gonna be our sun. In order to scale it, I clicked S, and then in the materials tab, let's just give it a color of yellow. You can see it when you are in the render preview. Okay, now we can duplicate it, move it. Again, moving is gonna be with the G, scale with the S, and this time the material is gonna be blue. And again, there is a problem with the duplication. Whenever you duplicate things, it turns out that it actually replicates whatever material you are using on multiple objects. So we're just gonna do Shift A, mesh, and then UV sphere. This time it's gonna be a blue for the Earth, and let's do one more for the moon, which is gonna be here. Shift A, UV sphere, and scale it. Again, new material base color is already white, so we're just gonna keep it white. Okay, again scale it a little bit more like this. Yep. Okay, now in order to position them, let's put one over here. We are not in the selection, we don't have the selection tool. Oops. Let's change the axes. Okay, looking good, or almost good. Okay, nice. So now what we're gonna wanna add is we do want to add in order for, so last time what we did is like we just moved it in circle and did the animation to see if this is like to show how it can move around this one, right? But this time we want to keep our movement circular. For that, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, let's use the cursor here, and then Shift A for curve and circle. Let's scale it so that it actually goes through this Earth. Scale it one more time. Let's see another angle. Good. Okay, looking nice. And let's have another circle here, right? So again on the x-axis there here, and then we're gonna add curve and circle. Again scale it, move it to the center. Okay, something like that. Right, so now we're going to be making use of the constraints in order for the movement to stay for this sphere. Let's just call it just to make sure that Okay, this is gonna be our moon. This is gonna be our earth, and this is gonna be our sun. This one is gonna be our earth path, and this one is gonna be the moon path. Nice. Okay, now let's put the first constraint. So this one, we wanted to put a constraint on that. For constraints, you're going to be going to this window, object, constraint properties. So you will add, and then you will say clamp to. In clamp to, if you look in the targets, the only two things you can clamp this sphere are these two circles. So clamp to does not get clamped to any other object, like in other constraints you will see, where you are actually putting constraints on the objects, on the location, on the volume, on the limits. They take the parameters where you are actually uh, pointing them out to different objects, but over here it's only going to be a path. So we want to stick to the earth path. Okay, nice. So just to see if it works, so wherever I move, here, there, anywhere, you will notice that wherever I move, it stays in the circle. Well, that's what we wanted. Now the second one is this one, right? So the moon, right? So we're gonna again be putting a constraint, add a constraint, and then clamp to, but this time we're gonna be clamping it to the moon path, right? Now if I move it, let's just look at the, let's just move it to location 0. Nice. There's one more problem. Again, this one, if I move it to, it stays there, right? But there is another problem, that this needs to uh, become a child, like there needs to be a constraint for this one too, right? This one, we're gonna add a constraint of copy location, and the location is gonna be equal to the earth. So again, now if you look here, let's just, okay, if you look here and I move my earth, the moon is moving with it, and the earth is rotating the sun. And the moon is gonna be, so Okay, so when the earth rotates, it does rotate, uh, the sun, and stays in the path, in the earth path. Right now it doesn't let me. That's the influence. Let's just remove it for a second. Okay, and now we can move it. What we wanted to do is to add a constraint clamp to, and the path is gonna be the moon path, right? And it is a cyclic one. And now you will notice that it is moving wherever I wanted it to be. This is the demonstration I wanted to give, and that's how you would put the constraints on the objects to move along either, like basically along the curves. So it could be Bezier, it could be a circle, it could be other curves, or even a path. So thanks for watching.